What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the Mind Mastery Show. Today I'm here with my boy Mateus, and we're going to be talking about a lot of things. But firstly, how do you pronounce your name, bro?
Funny thing is, my name, you pronounce it Mateus, so it's a little bit not a sh at the end. A lot of people say sh or whatever, but it's really just simply just Mateus.
Type. My name is Tristan. You know how to pronounce that? It's from from a Shakespeare play. That's another story for another time. But I have a really serious question for you today, bro. Do you ever force anything, or do you find yourself to be more like attracting things?
Like attracting things to me, like people and things are attracted to me.
Or do you think you force things, or?
I feel like it depends on the situation. I feel like sometimes I force things and like I really shouldn't. But I feel like sometimes I'll force something because I'm really passionate about it, and then I'll look at it like again later, and I feel like, oh, maybe I shouldn't force that or something like that. But as far as attracting, I mean, what do you mean by attracting?
Like, do you find that you working on yourself? Because we're always working on ourselves, like in terms of the gym, in terms of whatever, studying, soccer, everything. Do you find that like when you work on yourself more and like the things that you like grind on and stuff, or your like different types of like hobbies and stuff, do you find that like that helps you like attract like, I guess, people or opportunities or goals, things like that?
Well, definitely, because like for example, people go to the gym, right? And what do you go to the gym for? You go to the gym to better your health and to look good, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're doing business with somebody, and let's say and you're in good shape, people can tell that, people already automatically think highly of you because they can tell that you have the discipline and you know what you're doing to take care of your body and how to present yourself. So I feel like depending on the things you do on your own and stuff like that, I mean, obviously if you're trying to work on yourself, like get a good relationship with God and like stay healthy and stuff like that, you're obviously going to only attract good things. You have bad luck here and there, but most of the things you're going to attract are good things. You're going to attract good relationships with people, good connections and stuff like that. All that stuff you're going to attract.
Exactly. I think that if we, rather than like, chasing a lot, even though like as men, like we do need to chase and stuff like that when it needs to happen, like whether it's goals or whether it's people. But I feel like if we were able to like basically make ourselves, I mean, like I heard this saying before where it's like kind of build your garden so that like, I guess, butterflies will come to you, rather than trying to like, chase something else that someone else's garden that they've built, rather building your own, and then so people will come to you. I feel like, what do you think about that?
I mean, there's also another phrase for that. The grass is always greener on the other side, right?
Exactly, bro.
So basically, I'm like, off of that, I feel like, you can always work on yourself, always look at yourself. And if you're going to, like, look at somebody else, I mean, I'm not saying, like, don't hate or anything like that. Don't hate on them or whatever. I feel like you should have some respect for them. Like, oh, like, they know what they're doing or whatever, but how can I get like that, right?
Exactly.
Instead of trying to just go copy them or something like that, right? Yeah. So I feel like, let's say, he makes a lot of money, right? Yeah. He makes a lot of money. Let's say he does what? He flips houses or something like that. How could I get into that? Or how could I get into something that's similar to that? How could I flip cars? Yeah. Something like that. So the grass is always greener, but you always have to know like what could benefit you, because some things fit other people better than you, and some things can benefit other people better than they can benefit you.
Yeah. So I wanna see your opinion on like, what do you think about the I'll call it a philosophy of whether like no matter what your goal is, to not focus really on the circumstances of like where you're at right now. So like basically I heard someone saying this the other day where it's like do it alone, like do it broke, do it tired, do it scared. But just do it. So like, what do you think about that? Do you think that for what you're doing right now, I know that you're focusing on soccer, you're focusing on school. I know the school you go to is like, pretty academically focused and stuff. Do you ever struggle with, I guess, I know this is like a different topic, but do you ever struggle with like when you're alone, when you're like not feeling it, like getting yourself up and still trying to hit your goals? Or I mean, I don't know. Do you ever struggle with that type of thing?
I definitely do struggle with that, especially with things like schoolwork, because I'm a big procrastinator.
Exactly, bro.
So I'm like, for homework, right? Like, yo, I'm always putting stuff until the last minute.
Yeah,
But I mean, it is sometimes like, but it's mostly with stuff that I'm really like not trying to do. Like, I enjoy going to the gym. I enjoy playing soccer, so I don't really procrastinate with that.
yeah,
I feel like my biggest reason is because I'm not good at doing something that I don't want to do.
yeah.
If it's something that like I don't really care for, like for homework
Exactly.
or whatever, like I don't really. It's like the last thing I want to be doing right now. And then also procrastinating. Excuse my language, but procrastinating always puts me over in the end, because
Mm.
like, you know how we always have homework on the weekends, right? And you
Yeah,
could end up be doing it on Friday and get it done,
yeah,
and then I myself over, and I have like 10 assignments all due on Sunday.
yeah,
So yeah, I just feel like I procrastinate because I'm a little bit lazy sometimes. But I noticed that like when I don't procrastinate and I actually get my shit done, then I feel a lot better about myself after.
yeah. And I think that could lead us into something that I want to talk about. So, by the way, I procrastinate all the time too, and it's rough, right? But I think that a lot of us really, especially our age, we're struggling with kind of like what we want, like what our purpose is, like what we want to pursue, right? And a lot of the times, like because of like instant gratification, like TikTok and like that, being able to like get like pleasure real quickly, we don't want to do. I feel like we don't want to do the grunt work or the, I don't know, the boring work that comes with a big goal, right? So like, although we might seem like, what I'm saying, like I feel like, I mean, you might not,
Like you
yeah,
want to achieve something, but you're not willing to put in the work to get that thing sometimes.
like
If it's too hard or if it's too boring or whatever.
exactly, like if it's too hard, too boring, or if it like doesn't align with what you thought achieving the goal would be. So like I think that you, deep down, and obviously and definitely me, like we want to do good in school. Like I know that it's like not like at the moment when we're doing homework or at the moment when we're at school, but like at the end of the day we want to like you know do at least decently, right? But the thing is, when it comes down to doing, like when it comes down like to the daily work of like doing the stuff, I feel like we lose sight of that end goal just because it's not feeling good right now or it's difficult.
Well,
um
like you kind of like you didn't know what you were getting into type of thing.
yeah, or that I feel like we might have like, I guess maybe like miscalculated like what it would entail. Yeah, like what the work would be. And I think that we all really struggle with that. But I think it'll go back to the quote that I just said, which is like, um doesn't matter your conditions. It's like you could do it alone, do it scared, do it unprepared, uh
Just do it.
do it tired, but just do it. And I think, and by the way, like when we're talking about this stuff, we're talking about it in a manner of like trying to do it, not like we have done it. So like, so do it alone, do it scared. Like I'm trying to act like that, but it's a goal for me. Like we procrastinate, right? Like we're not perfect, but like we're saying these quotes so that we could better ourselves, not like we're already successful. Cause we're probably in the same boat as you guys watching this, but we're just trying to like speak, I guess, things that we think would help us, not like we're already there. You know what I'm saying? Like
Okay.
we haven't made it yet, but I feel like a quote like that would help us. I mean, I guess on those days where it's like,
I mean, it definitely
you know,
can. I mean, I'm not saying open TikTok every time you feel like not
yeah,
motivated and watch that video to do it.
so,
I just feel like sometimes you just gotta think to yourself, like, yo, like I don't really want to do this right now, but I know it's gonna get me
yeah,
one step closer to where I want to be.
yeah, and especially like with the topic of like school and stuff like that, I think that I think this would be like a really good like segue, which is like, I think everyone's like, what do I major in? Like, what school do I go to? What job should I get? And that's okay. I think I think nobody knows, and I think that um, we have to take. I feel like, and let me know what you think about this. I feel like we have to take segments of our life doing just the work that's not pretty to reach those end goals, like that the work that like I think we have to, actually I think this is a better way of saying it. I think we have to shut that voice down every now and then on like um, I don't know if this is my purpose, or I don't know if I should major in this or what college to go to, whatever. I think you need to shut that voice down sometimes and just do um do something that might help get close to any goal, but doing something, because I feel like, especially with me, I'm a master procrastinator. I'm a perfectionist. I feel like that makes me not take action, sometimes. I want to get your thoughts on that, bro.
I mean, yeah, I guess. Yeah, I agree with
Yeah.
what you're saying. Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I 100% agree with what you just said. I have
Yeah.
nothing to disagree with.
Low-key, like, kind of yapping, but nah, I know. But yeah, I feel like, so for you, right? I mean, we don't have to get too personal, right? But I'm gonna start with myself. I think that I'm gonna do college. I think that um I don't necessarily know what I want to study. A lot of the times I get in my head about, like, I don't know, should I study this? Should I, like, focus on my grades right now? Should I focus on my physical uh self right now? Like, do you ever get into those points of where you don't necessarily, like, know what you want to do? You don't know what step you want to take next, and you're just kind of floating.
Um, yeah, but in the sense of like more like a plan B, because soccer's always been my thing. Like
Yeah.
I've always wanted to at least go to college to play soccer, but my parents are always like, "Oh, you need a plan B or whatever." So thinking about it, it's like kind of intimidating and overwhelming to think like, what if I actually do need a plan B, right? And my plan B, I don't know what I would want my plan B to, like, whatever. Like I'm going to college, but like I don't even know if I'm gonna major in anything specific. Like, I think I might even go in undecided because I really don't know. Because I don't know what I like or whatever. Like
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. My whole thing has been soccer, and like it kind of messed me up a little bit because I've been focusing so much on that, and I've never really thought about anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Because that was like my whole my whole goal, like my whole life. I never thought like, oh, like what if?
Yeah. I think sometimes we might. Yeah, not for sure, bro. I think that's those, like, states of, like, what if, like, I get stuck in those a lot. I think just personally, because, like, I just overthink a lot and stuff. But yeah, that makes sense though. Um, Now I want to get your thoughts on another quote. Uh, so if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change.
Yeah, exactly. If you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. If you change the way you look at, if you change the way, okay, let's say you're looking at your grades and you're like, damn, bro, like I don't
Yeah.
like I need better grades. I need to get my grades up.
Yeah.
And like you look at it like right now, you're looking at it like, oh, it's so difficult. Like I don't know
Yeah.
if I can do that. If you just change the way you look at it, like you said, change the way you look at it and think about like, oh, like, yo, they suck right now, but I'm gonna put in work and I'm gonna get them better. I'm gonna get my grades up.
Yeah.
Your grades are gonna go up
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
obviously if your grades are bad, you can obviously do better. You can obviously put in more work. You can obviously study more. You can obviously pay more attention in class. And I'm
Yeah.
you know me, I'm not a nerd. Like I'm not like whatever. Like I have a hard time paying attention because like I'm just not interested. But like you can, yeah. Like that's just one example of, but there's many examples that like that's
Yeah.
100% true.
Yeah, and I think that what we're talking about, what I think what really helps with what we're talking about is that a lot of us look for, like, external solutions to like, a lot of us.
Internal problems.
Yeah, a lot of us look for external solutions to internal problems, and I think that, um, like, for example, right, like, like, with attention, right, like, I struggle with that. Like, a lot of people who are like me might even say, like, I have ADHD. Like, I need to change the way the things I do, and look for, like, external solutions and stuff, but for their, like, internal problems, rather than maybe trying to look at it the other way. You know what I mean? Um, have you ever thought of maybe doing that yourself? Like, have you ever, like, tried looking for external solutions to maybe problems that were internal? Um,
What do you give me an example?
I know. It's low-key, like, for me, the example of the ADHD thing, that is what, for me, because I was looking for, like, okay, should I, like, switch schools or whatever? Like, I don't know, because I'm struggling, like, academically and stuff like that. But I think what changed it was looking at it the other way around, which is, like, it's like I need to fix I guess the causes of it, which are in myself, rather than blaming it on the teachers and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah, I think sometimes that's what my dad says. I think sometimes you just need to take a look at yourself before you try to judge or change anything about anybody else or the situation that you're in. I just need to like think about it, like, oh, like take a look at yourself, like what am I doing wrong? What is something, because nobody's perfect. So it's like, what could I be doing better? Because everybody can always improve. So like, what could I be doing better in this situation to get out of the situation that I don't like right now?
exactly. Couldn't have said it better, bro. But I wanted to segue into something else, which was, and like we don't have to get too like in depth at this, because like, I don't know, it might be like a little personal, but I think a lot of us, I think we're chasing a feeling, rather than like a person.
Whoa.
And I think, yeah, I feel like that feeling might not always have to be felt through another person or by another person. So I think that a lot of us have gone in, like, I don't know about you. I mean, you don't have to get too in depth in like your personal life and stuff, but a lot of us might have gotten into relationships that we didn't want to because we're really chasing a feeling, and you know what I'm saying, like not necessarily the person at the moment. So I want to let you know like how I might deal with that, and then I want to hear how you deal with it. But how I deal with it is like I try getting feelings from, I guess, like their sources and stuff, like with them. And it's not like, I'm not trying to get too philosophical, but it's like, I mean, like if you want to be like loved and then like you get into a toxic relationship because you're just like, I guess I would say like down bad for it, it might lead to like heartbreak, right? Rather than maybe starting at yourself, loving like what you do, things like that, and then going out to seek it. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like that, like, I don't want to say down bad, but the what's it called, the just chasing like these feelings, and like in people, like from people, I feel like might lead us to, you know, some bad times. I mean, I want to hear, like, have you ever done that, like, or with someone, or are you working on it right now?
I mean, right now I just got out of a relationship. I don't know, I'm not gonna say anything disrespectful or anything like that. Yeah, but right now I'm just trying to work on myself and trying to better myself as a person, trying to get closer to God and stuff like that.
But yeah, no, I definitely think that a lot of us are doing that rather than seeing that, like, the feeling might not always, like, we might not always need a person to give us that feeling, right? And then once we understand that, maybe we'll find the right people, rather than trying to like maybe even objectify people or whatever for a feeling they might give us, when we could get it from other places. And like once we feel like we're good, and we're not chasing, or we're not, you know, we're not desperate for that feeling, then I feel like we could go trying to you know, meet people or like that might give us that feeling. But I just think a lot of us might fall into those like moments. But so I know you probably heard this quote before, but I think this quote, I'm gonna say another quote, I think it really applies to us, bro. And it applies to us, and it also applies to like our friend group in general, which is don't eat with people. Wait, hold on. Hold on. The quote's like kind of crazy. Don't eat with people you wouldn't starve with.
Don't eat with people you wouldn't starve with?
You wouldn't starve with.
Well, yeah, that's tough. I mean, yeah, I feel like that pretty much just means, like, dude, damn. I think that pretty much just means, like, I guess make sure you have real, like.
Actually, I'll say how it applies to me, right? Don't eat with people you wouldn't starve with. Bro, like, honestly, we're not, like, we haven't won yet. We're not, like, that successful or whatever yet. But, like, honestly, bro, like, you and, you know, our friends and stuff, like, I could starve with them. And, like, what I mean by that is, like, I don't need to impress anyone. I don't need to put on a personality. I don't need to.
Like you could just be who you are.
Yeah,
You
just
don't gotta
who I
force
am.
anything. You don't have to force
Like
another persona around them.
I could be who I am, like when I am. You know what I'm saying? And like what I mean by that is like when I'm in, let's say like a state where it's like, yeah, I'm not energetic. Like I'm not like down to have so much fun, but I just need to kind of like settle down a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't have to worry about, oh, am I going to scare them off or like scare, you know what I'm saying, or scare you off or whatever. And I feel like that applies to this quote. Don't eat with people you want to starve with.
Well, I feel like we've gotten to a point, like our friend group, we've gotten to a point where
Yeah.
we're brothers now. So it's like
Yeah.
nobody's gonna judge you. I mean, we crack on each other,
Yeah.
but like at the end of the day, it's all jokes.
Yeah,
Like
it's all
nothing's
jokes.
like whatever. So, but yeah, I guess I feel like what that kind of means is like, don't be around people like that you feel like you don't have like a specific connection to.
Yeah.
And that you feel like you have to change who you are for them to accept you. I
Yeah.
feel like don't be around people that you have to change who you are to be accepted. And I just feel like you just surround yourself with people that you can just like, that you don't have to stress about like, oh, bro, I don't know if I don't know if they're gonna fuck with me or whatever, this and that. Just like,
Yeah.
just be you, bro. Just chill.
Yeah, and I think that, I mean, like, I don't know what you think about this, but I think a lot of us are like, don't laugh when I say this, but a lot of us are like gold diggers, but for feelings or like for things. Like, it's not necessarily money, like gold diggers, right? But it could be a gold digger for popularity or a gold digger for like, I don't know, like getting put on to like girls or something. I don't know, whatever it is, bro. I feel like a lot of people are gold diggers for certain things, and I think that back to this quote, like, don't eat with people you want to starve with. I think that really means to surround yourself with people who aren't gold digging for something. You know what I'm saying? They're just there. I don't know if that makes sense to you.
Like surround yourself with people that are real friends, like they're really
Yeah.
like your friends. Yeah, like they're like, obviously you don't want to be around people that are using you for shit.
Yeah,
And like also
yeah.
if you're around, if you're hanging out with somebody just because you know they get or whatever, and like you're just trying to get put on, like that's the only reason you're friends with them.
Yeah.
That's fucked up. That's messed up. But like you guys are not, bro. It doesn't matter how long it takes or whatever. Eventually, you will not be friends with that person anymore because they're slowly gonna realize that, like, oh, like yo, he only wants to be friends with me, this and that, like whatever. Like they're not gonna want to be friends with you anymore. So like I feel like if someone's doing that or whatever, they're only messing themselves up. They're only f***ing themselves over.
Nah, I feel like it's kind of subtle though. Like I feel like a lot of people, like, they might not be like say to your face like, oh, I'm like friends with you because of this, but like,
I mean, why would you?
Why would you,
they,
right?
Why would they? Because then you're gonna
Yeah.
push them away. Because
Exactly.
then you'll be like, oh, what the whatever. Then you don't get what you want anymore.
Exactly. I just feel like it's like subtle, like, and then people don't realize it until it's like that relationship has been broken and they're trying to figure out why it happened, when at the end of the day I feel like they were just entertaining, you know, like fake friends, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, I definitely like back to this quote that is like always said, which is like quality over quantity. Like that definitely applies to this. I feel like, I mean, to me though, right? I think to other people, I think it's definitely the opposite, right? Have you met people that with like relationships and stuff, they really rather have like quantity over quality?
What, like they'd rather have more friends
Yeah.
than a small circle with like
Yeah,
real strong friends or whatever?
yeah,
Yeah. Everybody I grew up with is like that.
I know.
They just want to find their huge clique with like 15 or 16 people in their friend group.
yeah.
And everybody talks shit about each other.
I
I'm
know.
not going to say specifically or whatever
Yeah,
who they are, but like
we're not
there's
naming
this-
names here, but
there's this one friend group that I know. All they do is talk shit about each other. That's all they
Yeah.
do. That's like their whole thing. And then when you see
Yeah.
them together, they're all chill. They're dapping each other up, this and that.
yeah,
But behind closed doors, they're all talking shit about each other. They hate each other on the low, all of them. And like, I saw something on I forgot what I saw it on, but like for a friend group of 3, it was like in a trio. There's always a duo.
yeah,
Like
For sure.
there's always gonna be, if you don't have a strong circle of people that really have compassion for the others, there's always gonna be something like that where
Yeah.
they're chatting behind your back.
Exactly. Yeah. So I just had to wait, I guess, for to find people that were not like that. I think a lot of us are impatient, you know, and a lot of us, what's it called, when we're desperate, we take anything we get. Like when you're like when you're starving, you'll eat like, what's it called? There's like a saying where it's like I could eat like, you know, when someone's like really hungry, they're like, I could eat something right now. Like I could eat a,
I could eat a bowl of cow shit. I don't know.
yeah, so like I could eat a, you know,
I've never heard
whatever. I could eat
anything
something
like that before.
No, I know, but like someone's like hungry, they'll eat like something crazy rather than, if they're not, they'll wait to cook something good. You know what I'm saying? Like I think that's the mindset I've had, which is to wait to cook something good. But like other people aren't as patient, and I think that patience matters a lot. To
Well,
me,
patience obviously matters because I mean we were talking about it before. Don't force anything. So patience matters because if you're patient and you just let things come to you, you're really not gonna make a mistake. To be honest, like that's how I feel about it. I feel like if you're patient and you let things come to you, you're really not gonna. I mean, obviously life isn't perfect or whatever, you know what I'm saying, but most of the time, if you just wait and let things come to you the way that they should and the way that
Yeah.
God has it planned out for you, you're not gonna
Yeah.
get anything like that's really gonna like destroy you or anything like that. I mean, yeah, he might put you through tests and stuff like that, but you're really not gonna get anything crazy. Like if you force something, 100% you can make a mistake.
Yeah.
You can force something that you should not be forcing. But I feel like if you're just patient, work on yourself, and like you said before, work on attracting instead of chasing.
Yeah.
Only good things can come from that.
Exactly, bro. And so back to like another topic that I feel like we always talk about in terms of, like, I know we're talking about not chasing right now, but I'm gonna get to that topic a little bit. I don't know, when we're like, let's say you're about to approach some girls, right? Like the saying always comes where it's like, it's better to shoot and miss than to like not shoot and wonder what might have happened.
Oh, what is it? What's the saying? It's better to shoot and miss than let the clock run out and wonder what could have happened.
Exactly, bro.
Like that.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Cause I saw something the other day. It was like, what was it? It was like, don't be scared or something like that, because you're just gonna let like there's a possibility that that your future wife just walked past you, and you're just gonna pass that opportunity up because you're scared.
Yeah, and dude, and look, and for all the listeners out there, I'm talking about this because I'm trying to do it. Like, he knows me, bro. Like, he knows that I have done this countless times. Like, I've countlessly not taken the shot. So it's more about talking about it so that we could do it than talking about it because we've already done it. I mean, for me personally, right? So
You've done it before. Why can't you do it again?
exactly, bro. I mean, yeah. So just know that, right? We're not pros at. I mean, I certainly am not pros at at the things I'm saying, but
I mean,
not a pro.
from a girl's
Yeah.
perspective, nobody like for walking up to girls, nobody's a pro.
Yeah.
Everybody has their own type, whether they want to say it or not. Everybody has their own type. You can walk up to a girl or whatever, and like, yo, they can just simply just not, like, they're just not feeling you.
Yeah.
No hard feelings. They're just not feeling you, bro.
Yeah.
And then you walk up to another one. 2 seconds later, you get her IG.
Mm-hmm. And so this actually leads like right into something else I want to say, which is like, and like I said, I'm saying it. So like we've taken notes on like how I feel and how he feels, but like this one comes from like me specifically, which is like, I feel like I feel like a lot of times we're in our head and we don't enjoy the moment. You know, we can't even enjoy where we are, and I don't know if you feel that way. I feel like that relates to what we just talked about, like being, I mean, me specifically, me being in my head too much rather than enjoying where I'm at and enjoying the opportunities and like shooting those shots. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I'm in my head. I don't know. Has that ever happened to you where you're in a state of like, oh, I've been in my head and I've been thinking too much rather than just maybe just like doing, you know what I'm saying? Has it ever?
Well, that also comes with like, you know, having a lot of pressure on you too. Like, for me, like I don't get the best grades, right? But my dad is always pressing me, putting pressure on me. He's like, yo, like, you got to get good grades. This is not. So I'm always worried about that or whatever. But also in like other situations, like, because that's carried over to certain things, right? And but like, I'm okay with it now. Like, I'm not saying like I'm that guy that, you know, gets everybody he wants, right? But I feel like I do okay. And But like before, like I started getting more comfortable in that area or whatever, I felt like I was always like overthinking, like, oh, what if she says no? What if she says no? And then as you go on, like bro, it's not that serious. Just whatever, shoot your shot. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Exactly. But that's the quote I was looking for, bro.
Wayne Gretzky?
Yes,
really?
sir.
You don't know that quote?
Nah, I do. I'm just trying to search for it in my head, bro.
Yeah, but I feel like sometimes you just got to do it. You just got to send it, see what happens, and then if it doesn't work, then you learn from it.
Yeah, and I think that, I mean, obviously this is true, but like, this is all our first time living, you know? And even if like we're, what's his name, like Duke Dennis, or like I would, like some people who are like professional at like whatever field we're in. Like, look, you're 17, right? You're not like Lamine Yamal right now, right? So like,
no, I'm not Lamine Yamal.
So like,
no.
But guess what? It's his first time living too, and I think that we forget about that. Too many of us compare ourselves to things before realizing that like we have the qualities, we have good qualities too.
Everybody has a different path to success.
I know, and that like, okay, you're not like Lamine Yamal, but like you have qualities, like I don't know, like maybe he's not doing school right now because he's playing for like
I think he is doing school.
I know, but like,
he's ridiculous. This kid's crazy. Yo, in the Euros, I think, I don't know, but I saw something on Instagram that he's saying that he was doing his homework in the hotel.
All right, so let's
scored a banger against France. Goes to his
okay, that's such a
pre-calculus
flex,
homework in the fucking hotel.
All right, I was trying to make a point that like was against that, but I guess my point was like, for example, another kid who's not doing school, who's like professional in sports, like pretend he's okay, fine, right? You're comparing yourself to him, but you forget to you don't realize that you have qualities that he doesn't have, like. You're doing school, so now you have the discipline academically, and you could bring that into your sport. Like, things like that, I feel like we forget that we have qualities, right? And that, I want to hear what you think about this. Like, I don't know, my dad used to always tell me this, like, to have the wisdom of, like, my grandparents. But, yeah, to have the wisdom of my grandparents, but to have the to have the wisdom of my grandparents, but to have the curiosity of a child. And you might be wondering, like, what am I even saying? What I'm saying is that it's all our first time living, and I might be just yapping though.
No, I kind of get what you're saying. Have the wisdom of your grandparents to like kind of understand like the possible outcomes of a certain situation.
Yeah.
But always have a curiosity of a child to like not be afraid to try.
Yeah.
Like if you sit there and think about the outcomes before you do something, and it's not that bad. Like the worst case scenario is something you can deal with, then go for it.
Yeah, I think the reason I said that is because I think we're all just winging it. You know, we're all winging it, and that although a lot of us might seem to have it figured out, like honestly, like go to my Instagram, go to my TikTok, guys. Maybe even his, but mine first, like my stuff, whatever, right? But it might seem like I might have it figured out, or I might have, you know, I do like day in the life stuff, but at the end of the day, we're all just winging it, and that I don't have it figured out, and like the wisdom of my grandparents and the curiosity of a child, I think that relates to that because it's like I understand these like high level things, like, oh, we're all winging it, right? Like that's the wisdom, right? But then I'm as curious as a child when it comes to like doing the things, like treating, like, what do you think about this? Like treating life as play, like being like you're not taking things too deep, and you're not like, you know what I'm saying? Like, do you?
Well, it depends on what you're not taking it too deep.
Nah, true.
Like, what? Give me an example of something you should not take too seriously.
Like, I think what I was just saying, whereas like the Lamine Yamal thing, like if you're comparing yourself to that kid because he's your age and he's doing way better than you, you might take it too seriously rather than looking at like the overall aspect, which is what you said, where we all have our own paths. Like you might be taking that too deep rather than going on your own path and being fine with it. I think that's something that we shouldn't take deeply. I mean,
like I said, it depends.
Yeah.
But for me, in my perspective with soccer, right, you gotta like bro, this kid is ridiculous. You just have to give him credit. You can't even be like, he's so like whatever. You can't even cry about that, because this kid is doing like, I don't know if you guys know who Lamine Yamal is, but this kid is 17 years old. And
17.
And he's destroying like some of the best defenses in the world.
Yeah.
Bro,
I don't even follow soccer. I know this.
Their goal against France was ridiculous. Like, he should not be doing that. Yeah. There's no 16-year-old kid in the world that should be doing that. So, like, it gets to a point where you can't even you can't do anything. You just got to sit there and clap. Because that's... And also, like, what I'm saying about this different paths, like, yo, Lamine Yamal's on top of the world at 17, 16, however old he is, whatever. I don't know if you know who this is, but if you follow soccer, you're going to know who this is. Jamie Vardy went pro at 27 years old. Mm-hmm. Almost in his 30s, and he went pro. Yeah. So there's always a chance. Yeah. So there's always a chance.
I think, so you're Brazilian. I mean, like, you obviously know Pereira. So we're doing this podcast so we follow you follow the UFC a little bit?
50-50. There's a fight tonight,
There's a fight tonight, Alex Pereira, right? And why am I talking about this? I'm saying it because he went into the UFC. He started training when he was 22 to buy a dirt bike, right? Like, he wanted to get enough money to buy a bike when he was in the favelas, right? Like, that's what he was, right? His competitors, when they were 22, they were already pro, right? And I think that, like you said, we all have our own journeys, but like, I think that was good to bring up, like, Pereira, because like, he's fighting tonight. So, I don't know if you guys follow the UFC. I mean, you probably do, because like my target audience probably does, right? But Alex Pereira is versing Khalil Roundtree, right? Do you know like David Goggins, like how he was like obese and stuff? Mm-hmm. Okay, Khalil Roundtree was like obese at like 20 something, right? And then he made a change and he became like a demon, right? Like, people say he fights like people owe him money, right? Like, he fights crazy, right? Alex Pereira, a guy from the favelas, who started fighting to buy a dirt bike at like 22, and Khalil Roundtree, who was like obese, and like he started fighting to lose weight. They're both versing each other, and I think that's a perfect example of what we're talking about.
People have their own path. Exactly.
We all have our own paths, and Alex Pereira has dominated the UFC, dominated people who have been doing it since they could walk. You know what I'm saying? And I think fighting. I mean, you're gonna be my, like, hopefully you could be my future sparring partner. Actually, let's not even talk about that, because we were grappling yesterday. He threw me around, but whatever.
You're also, how much you weigh?
140.
Yeah,
but
bro, I'm 185.
Yeah, but like, I think that the reason I brought up fighting, especially, I mean, even if you guys don't, like, follow it, is because I think it's like a true testament to what we were saying on how we all have different paths, and yeah, like, there's some people who are born with things, some people who aren't born with it, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, I think that's really important to realize, rather than just, like I said, comparing ourselves. And
you can also give another example, like what you just said, people are born with things or whatever. A lot of people say Messi was talent, right?
Yeah.
Ronaldo was hard work, but they're both at the top. So like, you can't just look at somebody and complain and be like, oh, he's like, oh, I'd be jealous, this and that. Oh, he's over there and I'm this and that. Mm. If you really want it, you can put in work and you can be just exactly where he is.
Yeah. Also, have you ever heard of a guy named Virgil Abloh? Virgil Abloh. All right. So no, I'm just saying because like he was whatever, he was like he was like I don't know, he was like a designer for like Louis Vuitton or something. I don't know. But he was like Kanye's best friend. I don't know, whatever. He died, but the reason I'm bringing him up is because now you definitely know Virgil.
Is that the off-white guy?
Yeah, like, yeah. I mean, I think so. I mean, Virgil. So he basically like a big like whatever inspiration to like the fashion community. Like, I mean, like, obviously we could talk about Kanye or whatever. I don't listen to his music, but he's such a crazy guy and whatnot. And like Virgil was too, but like I wanted to hear your thoughts on like what Virgil Abloh said, where it's like life is too short. You can't even spend a single day subscribing to what other people think about you. And now, before I like ask what you think about it, that sounds like cliche, right? That sounds like, oh yeah, don't think about what other people think about me. Like, yeah, I understand that, right? I don't think we do, though. Like, I don't think the reason why I'm saying that is because I think that we're all confident about, I don't care what anyone thinks about me when we're like outside, when we're I don't know, when you're like playing soccer, like, I don't care if people think about me and stuff like that, and you're chilling. But when it comes down to like you want to really go out of your comfort zone and really like make a change, like I'm doing my day in the life or whatever it is, I think that feeling starts to go away, like the confident feeling, and then we slowly start to like subscribe to like subscribe on YouTube or whatever, like to what people think about us, and then we change. So like, what do you do that? Do you subscribe to what other people think about you?
Yes, but not all the time. I feel like there's a time and place for that.
Yeah,
I feel like don't worry about like if people are gonna hate on you. Don't worry about that, because like if somebody's hating, you're obviously doing something right. But I feel like you should worry about what people are saying to you, or at least like if someone's trying to give you constructive criticism,
yeah,
you should just at least take what they're saying into account, and then maybe like think, oh, maybe they're right, they're right, and maybe I could fix something to better myself. But like if you're thinking about it in a perspective where like you shouldn't let people put you down, is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, but no, you shouldn't be influenced. Like subscribing is being influenced, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like Virgil was like, you shouldn't spend your life is too short. You can't even spend a single day subscribing to what people think about you, because what happens is I feel like that might put you on a trajectory to not be your authentic self, because now you're. I mean, what if you were playing soccer right now because your dad made you and nothing else? You didn't like, right? You wouldn't go pro. You wouldn't go D1, whatever, right?
Because you simply don't want it.
Exactly. But I think that happens to all of us in a more subtle way, in a more like lower scale way, where it's like little things, like I don't know, little things you get influenced by, and then you slowly start to forget who you actually were. Now, the good news is that gladly I'm not like that right now, like, because I'm literally here shooting a podcast with my friend, and like that is something that like is what I wanted to do, like not, you know what I'm saying, or what we wanted to do. And I feel like a lot of people might want to do a podcast and they're not doing it because they're subscribing to other people. But I think that a lot of us do that though, you know.
Yeah, a lot of people I mean, obviously a lot of people do that. Yeah, a lot of people do that, bro.
Yeah, and I know. It's like, I don't know. I think people, it's obvious, but like people forget about it. But there's this guy, I think his name was like Pascal, right? Also, like, I don't know if you guys have picked up on this, but like I want to be like a modern day philosopher, right? And so like, for example, I took inspiration from this guy. I want to hear what you I think his name was Pascal, right? Whereas like all of man's problems arise from not being able to sit in a room by himself for 30 minutes. What do you think about that? Do you think that like because people can't just be alone and just focus on themselves a little bit, they end up just creating problems, and they end up, doing the things that we were talking about before? I mean,
yeah, honestly, yeah. Cause like, bro, like if you're so stuck in like what's going on around you and you can't just take some time to think about like, oh, like what are some areas that I can improve in?
Yeah,
obviously he's gonna have problems because nobody's perfect. So since nobody's perfect, if you're not focusing on making yourself at least better, there's obviously gonna be problems.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even if you do focus, there's still gonna be problems, but there's gonna be much less.
Yeah, and I mean, I think so. There's another guy who you guys should look into. His name is Naval Ravikant, right? And he's a philosopher, but he's like also really rich. He's an economist and stuff. And he was on the Joe Rogan podcast, right? Like Joe Rogan, like that's the podcast. Like I'm like, it's my inspiration, right? And he said it's like a superpower. It's a superpower to be able to be alone and to enjoy it and to take advantage of it, because superpowers are things that like not everyone has that make you better. And I think that being alone and focusing on yourself and stuff like that is a superpower, like, you know what I'm saying? And I think that it could be taken, you can take advantage of it, you know? I mean, you think, I don't know.
What else you got in those notes?
I got a bunch of stuff here. I think the podcast would like to hear, like, so like the notes here, we've made some of like our thoughts on a daily basis, right? I'm walking, like, and I put a thought down. Like, for example, the next thought was like, doing nothing is an art, right? Like meditating, I know that might seem like I'm getting too like philosophical, but like I think it's like an art to do that, right? Because I feel like, so like I remember, um I feel like whenever we sit down, let me know, like I want to hear if this ever happens to you. Like when you sit down and you're not doing anything, do you ever feel like you need to process things? Like you have
Well,
like
you just need to like you need some air. You need
you
just
s-
time to just like sit there and just think.
yeah, but like do you ever feel like when you sit, like when you're just like you have nothing to do and you're, or like you you wanna rest and to just process things, like you want to rest to think about the thing you said 2 weeks ago, or like just to process everything you've done that day. You know what I'm saying? Rather than like, I don't know, have you ever wanted to like be okay with everything you've done in the past so you can move forward rather than, I'm yapping again.
I mean, you can't change the past, so
Yeah.
I just feel like I would say instead of being okay, just knowing what to do and what to change. If you made some mistakes, just knowing what to do and what to change moving forward.
Yeah. So I have remembered like what I meant by what I was saying, which is like when we sit down and we're doing nothing, all of our mental notifications pop up. So like, for example, like if you post something on Instagram and you get all the notifications of all the likes in the comments, right? That happens to us. I feel like when we sit down and we're doing nothing, all of our mental notifications pop up. Like, oh, I said this to this girl like 2 weeks ago. Oh wait, maybe I shouldn't have. Or like,
Yeah, you get it in
oh
your head, right? You start thinking about
yeah,
like you start thinking about everything, right?
like everything starts popping up, and I think that, and I'm bringing this up because I think there's a solution to it, and the solution is being still and just processing it, because I feel like that would solve so many problems rather than just quickly. I know we're talking about not being in our heads and taking action, but now this part of the podcast is more about the opposite, which is like rather than taking action immediately, but taking, like setting some time aside to just process it. Has that ever benefited you to, rather than like doing something immediately, just taking a little break, processing it?
Like what you're about to do, make sure you're doing the right thing. Kind
Yeah,
of.
but like even if it's not in the moment, even if it's like the night that something happened, rather than sending a text that's like crazy, or rather than calling, whatever, doing something that night, you just like, you take a, like you like sleep on it, right? You just take a bit to process it. Like has that helped, or you think
Well, yeah, definitely,
just
because then
doing
you
it? Yeah.
because then you end up. I mean, sometimes it's still not the right decision, but I feel like most of the time, if you just take a minute and like think about like if it's before something happens or after something. Like if it's before something happens and you just take a minute, then I feel like you have a better chance of end up doing the right thing. I mean, if it's after something happens, then I guess like you can do the right thing next time it happens, just in case, something like
Yeah.
that.
Like like we yeah, like so like we sit down, all of our mental notifications pop up, and we get right back up because we don't want to deal with it. We don't want to we want to occupy our time by doing something else. But yeah, I forgot what I was saying. But like so like we try to, I think it's like a form of self therapy to be like, let me process everything so that now my mind is only thinking about what's happening now. And like, because I think that, I mean, have you ever had a moment in your life where a lot of stuff happened, right? A lot of stuff, whether it's good or bad, and you're stuck for the next 1-2 days or even the next week thinking about like that single moment, or that single, moment in time, rather than processing it and then just thinking about the present moment. Like, has that ever happened to you where you're just like stuck like thinking about something rather than just taking time to process it? I mean, I don't know.
Repeat that.
Yeah, so like podcast, like just this is for the viewers here. Like, I'm not the best at asking questions or whatever because of the fact that my mind is going like a million miles an hour. So like, let me slow down. Basically what I'm trying to say is, for me personally, like there's been moments in my life where a lot of stuff has happened, a lot of changes have happened, and I'm stuck thinking about all those changes for the next like week, right? Rather than just like processing it and then just thinking about the present, right? Has that ever happened to you?
I mean, yeah, but I can't tell you the last time that's happened to me. I don't
Nah, no.
remember. But
I mean,
definitely, yeah, once or twice.
yeah. No, I'm just asking because I'm trying to segue into, and I'm not saying I'm like a Buddhist monk, but I think that meditation could be a solution to it.
Yeah, a lot of people meditate because
Yeah.
it's just a time with you and your thoughts.
Yeah.
That's what it is. You just relax, um, stop worrying about everything else, and just think. Didn't Kobe used to do that? Wasn't that like a Kobe thing too?
For
Meditating or
yeah,
whatever. Yeah.
like visualizing. Yeah, like
Yeah, exactly,
yeah,
exactly. Visualizing.
yeah,
And also, if you think about it, like if you're Catholic or whatever, and you're praying is a form of meditation.
Mm.
You're sitting there, like, and God is not gonna speak back to you, right? He's gonna answer your prayers, like through experiences in your life, but he's not literally gonna speak back to you. So, you know, you're almost there with your thoughts, pretty much.
yeah,
And like once you start praying, you realize like things that you actually need and
yeah.
or
And you
things that
process
you
it.
actually
Yeah.
want, and you process it and stuff like that. And yeah,
Yeah. So I think that like yeah, like thinking about it, processing it. But what do you think? I want to move on to like something that I've been thinking about for a little bit, which is like I think that I mean, so how do you view like happiness? Like, do you think it's a choice? Do you think it's like a condition that just like happens to us? Like, how do you view happiness, bro?
what do you?
Okay, fine. Let me tell you what I think. All right, let me tell you what I think. Let me tell you what I think.
Okay.
I wrote it down. Happiness is a choice, and if you believe it's a choice, you'll start to find it. And I think a lot of us think it's different. A lot of us think that it's a condition based on the external things. Like we and I'm not saying I'm not bringing some random stuff up. We talked about it before. External solutions to internal problems or whatever. The internal problem of not being happy, I should have said this before, but the internal problem of not being happy could be solved. Could people think it would be solved by external things that'll make them happy? But what if it's just solved by knowing that it's a choice and just to keep on telling yourself that you're happy until you actually are? You know what I'm saying? Has that worked for you or like?
Has that worked? I mean, I've never tried that. I mean, I've always done things that, I think would benefit me and make me happy. But I've never actually sat there and thought to myself, oh, happiness is a choice. And just, like, start believing I'm happy. I've never gotten to a point where I was, like really not happy. Like, I've always been pretty, like, content.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to sound so stupid, but, like, when Andrew Tate was blowing up, and he would say, like, oh, like, I don't believe in depression, this, and that. He's like, I can't physically become depressed because I don't believe in it. I kind of think that makes sense.
Yeah.
To be honest, I really think that does make sense.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, obviously people have, like, therapists and stuff like that, but so with happiness, it's, like, your own conditionings that are making you unhappy. So, like, you're the only one that knows that. So, like, the external things, like, they won't fix it. Like, you're the only one that can fix it, you know what I'm saying? So, because, like, yeah, I've done it. That's the reason I'm saying I've done it. I've thought that other things can make me happy. Only thing that has is actually just really believing it was a choice. Like I think it still is. I think it still is. I mean, like, obviously it's not a choice if you're like dying or like you have some really bad stuff going on. But if you're living a normal life, yeah, I think it is. So, bro,
What's a normal life to you, Tristan?
no, well, I'm saying like if you're not like suffering right now.
No, I'm just asking. What's a normal life to you?
Wait, a normal as in
Just normal. What is a normal life to you? What is the average person's life like?
average person's life? I think the average person's life is the average person's life.
Give me.
No, I'm about to say something crazy. Hold on. Average person's life is an array of lights or an array of colors, sounds. Wait. Bro, wait, hold on.
No.
A person's life, bro, is a set of colors and sounds. That's all it is. If you think about it, bro, That's all it is. Your experience in life is going to be your five senses, right? What you see, what you smell, what you touch, what you, I guess what you say, what you hear, whatever, right? The normal person's life takes those sensory inputs and tries to maximize their responses. Oh, I'm going crazy. I'll yapping.
Dude, just give me a rundown. Yo, you wake up.
Yeah.
What is the average person's day look like?
I think the average person's day looks like doing what they have been told to do and doing it either in a more
I'm saying,
bro, wow, I can't even answer your simple question, bro.
And like I'm saying like wake up,
Yeah.
make breakfast, go to work, like whatever. Maybe
Yeah.
have some leisure time, go to bed, do it all over again. Do it all over again. Do it all over again.
Yeah.
That's the average person, right? Do you want to be average?
No.
Okay. So if you're not
True.
average and you're better than average,
Yeah.
you have no choice but to be happy because that's what you want.
Exactly. And not being average comes with a lot of trials and tribulations and pain and everything, right? But I think that what'll help, or what has helped me with that pain and that everything, is that it comes with a purpose. It, like, it comes with a purpose. You asked me, what does an average person's day look like, right? An average person's day will have a bit of pain, right? That the pain has been given to them by something else, not them. Who wants to inflict pain on themselves? Someone that's not average, someone that wants to make a change, someone that wants to be better, right? Because pain equals growth, because that's uncomfortableness, whatever.
Well, obviously depends what kind of
What
pain
kind of
we're
pain?
talking about.
What kind of pain? Exactly. I should have been more specific. But in the average person's day, they will react to that pain by leaving it, by filling it with pleasure, right? But that's what separates us, I feel like, which is knowing that the pain or that the uncomfortableness, whatever it is, has a purpose. Whether it's pain in the gym for muscle growth or whether it's whatever it is, right? That it has a purpose. Where am I going with that? I'm just trying to make the point that is what helps me on those like lonely Sunday nights or whatever, where it's like
Yeah, you get the Sunday scaries, bro.
the Sunday, yeah, bro.
You get that?
Sunday scaries, bro. Like,
Are you the type of person like where you wake up on Sunday and you're like,
yes,
that's you?
Yes, I realize everything will be better in time, and that I see every failure, every trial, every, I don't know, segment of pain as a moment to learn. And I think that differentiating the average person's day from the non-average person's day is how they perceive pain, or how they perceive, I don't want to say pain because pain is just so general, but how they perceive challenge. One runs away from it to feel comfortable, which is human nature in many ways, right? And another chases it, or another just learns from it. And I think that is what helps me when, Sunday night, like I'm just in my thoughts, and I don't know, that helps. What helps you, man? What in those moments?
With my Sunday scaries?
Yeah, bro.
I don't know. I just do some stuff to get my mind off of it, really. Because the Sunday scares, what is it for? Because you don't want to go to school tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know. I just go to the gym, do whatever I can to just get my mind off it. Maybe if I can, chill with some of my friends. Nothing else you can really do.
Yeah.
It's just another day that you can get better.
Exactly, bro. The great philosopher Confucius once said that every man has two lives. The second one starts after he realizes that he only has one. I think that, let me know what you think. We're healthy right now, right? We're decently healthy, right? A healthy person wants 10,000 things the Gucci bag, the to hop on the Tristan's podcast, right? They want 10,000 things. A sick person wants just one thing. They just want to be healthy, right? And I think that we need to understand that now that we realize we have one life, after Confucius told us that quote, or after I told you that quote that Confucius said, because I'm trying to deliver his quote, that we got to be grateful. What do you think about gratitude, bro?
Gratitude is really important because if you know what my mom used to do, bro. My mom every day she used to make me she bought me a notebook, right? Every day she would sit with me in my room at when I'm about to go to bed, and she would just make me write 3 things that I'm grateful for. And I feel like having gratitude and being grateful for the things that you have, because not everybody is as fortunate to. We live on Long Island, and it's living on Long Island is not cheap.
Yeah.
So not everybody is as fortunate to live somewhere like this, or even go to a school like we go to, or afford clothes like this or anything like that. So I feel like being grateful kind of also makes you humble in a way.
Yeah, I think it's our unlimited desires that are like clouding our peace and our happiness. I think that if we just lock in like on these 3 things that we're grateful for, that just bro, that totally helps, bro, because then you realize that you have more than you need, or that you have what you need, you know? I think I gotta start doing that. That was
What, the notebook thing?
yeah, bro.
I was a little kid, so I didn't, stay on it, but definitely now when you kind of understand the importance of gratitude and being humble, I think it could definitely help.
Yeah, and like having a bunch of desires, right? Like, so a wise man once actually no, I told this to myself once, but I mean,
so you're saying you're not wise?
I mean, no. I mean, I'm getting wise as the days go on, but
1 to 10, how wise are you, my boy?
like a 1 to 10 on wisdom in general, or like wisdom for people like my age or something.
Both.
1 to 10 wisdom in general, 0, because Albert Einstein said the more I learned, the more I realized I know nothing. Or that was Seneca, I believe, a Greek philosopher, a Greek philosopher, right? The more I learned, the more I learned that I know nothing, right? For my age, I believe, maybe like a 4 or 5 or something like that.
Why not a 10 for our age?
Because I think I need to be humble, and I think that I lack wisdom on experiences that I haven't. So wisdom is learned from experience, right? Wisdom cannot be learned without experience. That's like knowledge, but knowledge is knowledge is different than experience, or knowledge is different than wisdom, right? Wisdom is through experience. Bro, that from me being, I guess, boring sometimes on focusing on my goals or focusing on school, whatever, I haven't had certain experiences that I wish I could have had, but that I might have soon, right? And that has made me lack some wisdom, you know what I'm saying? But
sometimes it's good to be boring. You even said it in one of your TikToks. Sometimes you just gotta be boring because
exactly.
You gotta get your shit done.
Yeah, exactly.
I really respect you for how hardworking you are, because you're always doing something that is gonna better you in the long run. So I really respect that. You're always putting in the early work.
And look, just for the podcast, for you, it's been a struggle. What I'm saying a struggle is that ever since school started, I've started to become more lazy. And the reason why is because I use school as an excuse. I'm like, nah, I've been in school for this long. I'm tired. Let me just go take a nap. Let me just wake up a little later. I mean, do you have a bus? Or no, you drive.
I drive now.
But let's say you had a bus, right? There's probably been times, or maybe even every day, I don't know, that you would set your alarm right before you had to run out to the bus, right? You know what I'm saying?
I used to do that all the time.
Exactly. I would do it. So I would do it to where it's I'm brushing my teeth and I'm running, right? That doesn't adhere to what you said about me. It doesn't adhere to the day in the life or whatever. It's because I've had some days where it's just been like that. But I thanks for saying that though. I appreciate it. I gotta just listen to this podcast again and realize.
I also really respect how you always understand and take. You don't take criticism the wrong way. You're always thinking about oh, maybe he's right, but yo, if somebody's hating, you don't like. You're not like, oh, you're just like fuck them. Like you don't really care if somebody's hating. But if someone's genuinely who you know is not hating on you and telling you something
Yeah.
that you can improve, I respect that you take that into account. And
Yeah.
you really like look at yourself and like maybe he's right. I mean, because you're always trying to better yourself, and I really
Yeah.
like that.
I appreciate it, and the thing is, that's something that like older people do, and the thing is, it shocks people when I do that. Like, it shocks people when someone's hating on me, and I'm like, you know what, you're right. Like, that shocks people because they're like, I'm trying to like make this kid feel bad about himself, but he's saying I'm right. What the heck? It's because I'm trying to improve, and I think, bro, you like this is like might be I might not be able to say this on the podcast, but whatever. Bro, you slammed me on the ground yesterday, bro. I
Okay.
got up. No, hold on. Not because I was sparring with you. Whatever. It's fine. I got up and I'm like, he was right. He is better than me at jiu-jitsu. I mean, obviously you are. You trained, bro. Like, I don't know why I'm so ignorant to that, but whatever. And I went to my friend and I'm like, yo, can I grapple you a little bit? Like, because I'm trying to get a little better because you did this like throw or whatever.
Which one? When I had you by your back and I dropped my hips?
So yeah, you did that, and I'm like, that has happened to me before, and it won't happen again. Maybe it'll happen again, but like at least I have the mindset that it won't. You know.
You just, that you just got to be prepared for that. But like once somebody has you on your back, you can't really do anything.
Yeah.
If someone drops your hips, you're gonna go down if they're still grabbing you. Right?
Yeah.
So I feel like you just have to work on not letting me or anybody else get to your back that easy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I feel like yesterday you literally turned your back to me.
I know.
And in my head, I was like, oh, there it is.
And like one of the funny thing, bro, in jiu-jitsu, bro, like it's low-key a sign of disrespect, bro.
What?
Like have you ever seen that before? Like if someone like gives you their back, they're like, it's like they might not think that much of you. You know what I'm saying? Because like taking someone's back and like grappling is like, I don't know. It's like a good achievement because like you can now like do stuff. But bro, like, with you writing down those 3 like things that you were grateful for, right? So I think so. A wise man once told me, but actually it was just myself. That basically said that a desire is a contract. Desire is a contract you make with yourself to be unhappy for a little bit, to get what you want, right? So you need to be very careful in what you desire, because if you desire too much, you'll have so many contracts that you made with yourself to be unhappy, and next thing you know, you're gonna just be full of unhappiness because you just want all these things rather than having those 3 things you wrote down. I mean, does that analogy make sense? Like that it's a contract. Like I don't know. Like
Yes and no. Maybe it's just because of how you're saying it, because it's kind of confusing me a little bit. But I think I kind of understand where you're going with that. If you want to just clarify for me really quick.
Yeah, I'll clarify because like so like Buddhism, right? Actually, so basically, I don't want to get all theological because I'm not being philosophical. I'm being theological. Okay. So I think that Buddhism, right? It's Buddhism or Hinduism. I don't know which one. It's that life is suffering, right? They believe that life is suffering and that, whatever, right? So desire is suffering, I think, right? Because desire, you want something, and in wanting that, you're basically kind of suffering, right?
So you want something you don't have, right?
Yeah. If you desire one thing, you'll probably get that thing because you'll work so hard to get it, rather than all these other things. So my point is, and might not make sense, is that you should desire less things, so you'll be able to
achieve
more in a way.
So kind of focus on one thing at a time, type of deal.
Yeah, and I'm saying this literally because I do the opposite. Like I'm saying it because I do the opposite. Like I want so many things, and guess what? I get nothing, bro.
Well, my dad. Okay, this is what my dad tells me, right? So he's like, what's your biggest desire?
My biggest desire is, oh wow, that's actually deep. I've actually been deep. So,
okay, all the stuff that you're doing right now, what, like why? What's your why?
My why is to impress myself, bro. Like impress. Yeah, impress myself.
Okay, impress yourself with what? With how successful you've become.
Yeah, like to be.
So what, you want to sit in your house one day
Yeah.
and think to yourself like, shit, I made it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that.
I mean, I think my why is like probably like for like my future, like my like to like really like take care of my future like wife and kids, like to be like,
Okay.
you know what I'm saying?
Break that into 10 steps.
Like 10 steps, bro. Each step will probably be like a pillar of like
What's step
money.
one? What's step one?
Step one
To get to that point. What is step one to get to that?
Step one to get to that point is monetary wealth, bro.
How do you get that? What's step one to that?
Step one to that is financial literacy. It is like learning financial literacy.
So start with that.
Yeah.
So what's step two?
To that thing?
Exactly. So
yeah.
what you said, how not to have too many desires. I feel like break one desire into certain steps so you can achieve little goals
Mm-hmm.
or whatever. And then after you achieve the little goals, you're basically at your desire pretty much. Or you're one step closer.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it.
That makes total sense. I think that breaking your goals into smaller steps is really helpful. But I like that you said that because I struggle with that. Because my goals, I look at it like as the end. Actually, what do you think about this, right? What do you think about this? You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. Now, wait. Before you answer this, we're at the start of a 100-meter race. I'm trying to race you and I'm trying to beat you. Do we both have the same goal?
Mm-hmm.
We have the same goal. Did we train the same? Probably not, right? Because one of us is going to win, meaning that one of us trained harder, right? Do we have the same plan? Do we have the same way to win? Like I sprint, like
Same strategy?
Same strategy. Exactly. Same strategy. Probably not. We don't have the same strategy. So I think it's helpful for me because I always am trying to rise to the level of my goals. Let me just beat him rather than looking at the systems on like how I'm trying to actually do the goals or achieve the goals. Rather than focusing on the systems to get there, like the strategy, the step thing that the thing you gave me with the steps. How true is that quote to you, bro?
I think it's very true, to be honest. I mean, I think breaking something big into more achievable goals can 100% work.
Yeah.
Almost 100% of the time.
Yeah.
Because with those little steps, you're getting little victories. And those little victories are going to keep you motivated to keep going and to eventually achieve your, what you want.
I just think we focus too much on the end goal rather than the system. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, rather than, like, chasing money, that's the end goal. Like, the money is the goal. But in doing that, you're chasing it and you're going too quick. You're not being patient. You're whatever. But the systems would probably teach you to be patient. To like I said, step one is financial literacy.
Mm.
That's not step one for a lot of people who are trying to be rich, right? They get the money and lose the money. But the step one is to learn how to use the money before you even get it. But that's not always the case with people who are just focusing on the goal. You know what I'm saying? I think this is a perfect plug for something I'm going to do in a little bit, which is like I'm trying to teach teenagers like financial literacy and like life skills that they don't know, that they don't learn in school. So stay tuned for that. But yeah. So look, we're going crazy on the notes. Like we're around like even 3/4 done with these notes. I have a question for you. Have you ever asked yourself, would I still be interested in learning this thing? No. Would I still be interested in learning this thing if I could never tell anyone about it?
Depends what it is.
Well, the reason... Okay, so I'll tell you the reason I'm asking. The reason I'm asking is like, I think a lot of us do things, especially me,
So
to tell people about it or to show other people. Like, not learning things, but like posting things, acting a certain way to tell people, to show people, rather than doing it just for yourself, even if you couldn't tell anyone about it or show anyone? You know what I'm saying?
I think I do, yeah, but from a sports perspective, no, because like everything you're doing is to impress a coach or impress
Yeah.
a scout or something like that. So, not really with sports, but with other things like to improve yourself, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and the reason I'm saying that is because I think so. I think the best things in okay, so this is like okay, so I want to hear your philosophical thoughts on this, which is like I think that the best things in life are actually art, right? Now, what is art? The definition of art, actually,
Look it up. What's the definition of art?
well, no, okay, I'll this. My definition of art, and I want to know your definition of art. Are you good?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
My definition of art is things that are done for the sake or things that are done for their own sake. Now, what I mean by that is loving someone, creating something, playing, right? Whatever. They're done for their own sake. They're not done for different motives or whatever, right? So, the reason I asked you that original question is because art is answering that question with a no or with a yes, which is, would I be doing this if I could never tell anyone about it? Art, if you're doing art, you would be answering the question yes. So like soccer is a form of art, right? If you're playing soccer. So you're not doing art if you're answering that question with a no. Like, no, I'm doing it so that I can impress my coach. When you should be impressed with your coach, but you should also be doing it for yourself, right? Do you agree with my definition of art?
Yeah, I get. I mean, depends on like what lens you're looking at it, but for the most part, yeah.
All right. I'm saying that because I'm trying to be artistic. I'm trying to be in a
Trying to
state.
paint Picasso.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to. I think this is a form of art, bro. I think that I'm gonna post this. I'm gonna edit it. I mean, I think editing is basically like Picasso, but for the modern day. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know if you catch my drift here, but I think that making our work play makes us work harder because then it's art. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you. I'm feeling you, bro.
Rather than making our work just work. Do you struggle with quote unquote doom scrolling?
What the hell is that?
Scrolling on your phone or
Like scrolling on TikTok?
being on social media a lot, but like
yeah.
like doom, so it's like it's not for a good reason. Like I mean, you're just too much. You know what I'm saying? It's when
Hell
it's,
yeah, bro. Oh my god, you should see my screen time on TikTok. It's
Really?
ridiculous. Because you don't even know how much time passes on that. Bro, I think TikTok is like the number one reason that like everybody's attention span is fucking shit.
Yeah.
It's so bad. It's so bad. Bro, I can't even pay attention in class sometimes for more than 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Because it's like,
I know.
on TikTok, like, yo, you don't like the video? Scroll.
Exactly.
Scroll. Oh, you find one video and you like it, but it's only like 10 seconds long. And then you scroll again. It's just an endless cycle or whatever. So you don't actually... That's another thing where, like, people have a hard time just sitting in silence. Because, like, throughout everybody's day, there's, like, so much stuff being thrown at them, so many conversations, so many things on the phone, this and that it's just hard to just sit there and just breathe.
Yeah. I know. And I think that, like I said before, I think it's like a superpower to really just be alone or be just calm and, like, not have something going on, you know? And, so, like, I don't know, do you have, like, a vision, a goal, or, like, a project or something?
Soccer, bro.
Yes, like that's you have goals and stuff like that, but that doesn't really have to do with distraction, right, or whatever. Like you might think it doesn't, but I think it does because I think that if you're really focused on something, you won't get distracted from it. If you leave your attention out in the open to be captured by anything or anyone or anything, that means that you're not locked in, you know what I'm saying? And like obviously you shouldn't always be locked in, but you need to direct your attention at something specific so that it won't be caught by something else. You know what I'm saying?
No, 100%.
Like I do that all the time. Like I leave my attention out in the open. So anyone that talks to me, anything, any video that I see, whatever, catches my attention. Next thing I know, I'm locked in on that thing, rather than knowing, oh wait, you have a purpose, you have a goal, um, to follow, so that you don't, you direct it. You know, you direct it at something specific, and I think we need that direction, bro. You know,
100%.
before before we wrap up, bro, because guess what? We went through all our notes, and our notes, bro, are amazing. I think it was, because I think that we helped the viewers. I think we helped ourselves. Because I'm gonna like watch it over and stuff like that. Hopefully you do too. You have anything to add, like in terms of like what I was saying, or anything additional, or
To be honest, really, no. I think every topic that we spoke on, we pretty much just nipped it in the bud, and like,
yeah,
got through everything that we needed to get through, and understood, and like, I feel like every topic from those notes created a really good conversation.
exactly, bro. Yeah. Hopefully we could. Yeah, no, hopefully we can do this again sometime. I think that we made a lot of progress, bro. I love to have you on, bro. It was valid. Guys, stay tuned to the Mind Mastery show. Stay tuned to the content creation in general. And yeah, bro. Hope you guys liked it. And yeah, hit subscribe, like, and everything like that. And we'll see you next time.